Hello and welcome to Jamaica Magazine. I'm your host, Theodore Henry, here to pilot you through this informative half-hour journey. Coming up, a convenient healthcare service for seniors benefiting from the National Health Fund. Also in our HealthWise corner, we keep abreast of COVID-19 and how to prevent the spread of the infection. Later, an alternative meal idea for Christmas, plus more, so sit back and relax.
In terms of making shopping safe, shop online, and when shopping in stores, stay 6 feet apart from others and make sure you're wearing your mask. And make sure you check yourself for symptoms before leaving home. So if you're ill, please stay home and don't go out shopping at this point in time. For persons who we know are more vulnerable and at high risk, shop early or ask someone to pick up items for you in the store. Use curbside pickup and delivery options if that is available and feasible for you. For our businesses, we know you expect increased pedestrian traffic. Make sure your hand sanitization station is easily accessible, especially immediately on entry to your business. Make sure you're enforcing physical distancing, not only within the business space itself, but outside. Offer online and telephone services as much as possible for as many services as possible within your business. Offer delivery services if that is an option. Have options for short interactions to be expedited, and make sure you have reminders of the infection prevention and control measures within your business so that you can remind your clients of what is expected.
For some time now, the National Health Fund has been operating a home delivery service for seniors who usually fill their prescriptions at DrugServe pharmacies on a monthly basis. This has removed the hassle of journeying to the pharmacy, and by all accounts, our seniors are loving the convenience. Take a look.
Senior citizens in the cohort 60 years and older represent the fastest growing demographic segment of the society as more people are living longer. This changing dynamic has prompted the government to ensure improvements in the level of responsiveness to new expectations and needs of our seniors. The need for quality healthcare is top of the list. One aspect of quality healthcare service is the prompt access to affordable medication. So the Ministry of Health and Wellness, through the National Health Fund (NHF), has been leading the government's charge in providing critical supplies of medication at subsidized costs to persons in need. That includes seniors. The NHF has been improving its service by employing ingenious means of delivering medication and reducing waiting times and overcrowding at prescription outlets.
We are using a number of services in order to make it easier for our customers. We have the Prescript mobile app. We have a drop-off and pick-up service. We have scheduled refill for persons who come to the pharmacy frequently with the same medication. And we have a number of other initiatives in which we contact clients to work out easy ways for them to receive their medication.
A home delivery service for DrugServe patients 65 years and older is the NHF's latest addition to its offerings. This emerged as a response to the coronavirus pandemic.
As most people know, the NHF is a customer-centric organization, and with COVID-19 we actually looked at different ways of better serving our customers. Medication delivery is an idea that we have had under active discussion for a number of years, and we found that this was an opportune time to implement this service.
This new service is available to DrugServe patients on the NHF's scheduled refill program who have monthly appointments to pick up their medication at a DrugServe pharmacy.
For these patients, we give them 2 months supply of medications, basically And the feedback is just excellent. It's really great. But when you look at how grateful they are, because some of them they can't walk, some of them they're disabled in terms of hearing and so on. So when you can come to them to actually give them their medications, it's really heart-touching, basically. So and they're very grateful. They say it all the time, and they are loving the service as it is now.
This was started in St. Thomas, and we've expanded into Kingston and St. Andrew, as well as in St. Catherine. And other parishes have now started, St. James and other parishes. And the intent is to have this program island-wide.
The NHF's home delivery service is set to benefit approximately 30,000 beneficiaries over 65 years of age, as well as other vulnerable groups that the fund believes can benefit from medication delivery.
We just received a call, asked if we would want it to be delivered, and we readily accepted it. The wait can be very long. I know they try to cut back sometimes by using the scheduled thing, but even then you have to go and sometimes you wait up to an hour. So this is just ideal.
Patients may want to check out the NHF's online avenues such as web chat to indicate their need for delivery service. Persons can text their name and their DrugServe pharmacy to 876-219-9937 or 876-219-9929. They can also call the NHF at 876-906-1106 from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. weekdays.
I take the opportunity to commend our pharmacists, our pharmacy technicians, and all the team who facilitated this.
This is a good service now. They say you must stay at home. And this service that you come and present a wonderful service.
We are loving the service. We really appreciate it, and we wish it would continue.
Customers need not worry about having a National Health Fund NHF card or a Jamaica Drug for the Elderly JADEP card. The service will still be offered.
But at this time, when we come and realize that, oh, probably you don't have a card, what we can do is give you the steps as to how to get the cards. And in order to access the cards, it's a same-day printing at any of our DrugServe locations that are named for that service.
The NHF, reaching out, helping to make Jamaica the place of choice to live in good health.
We all have to be mindful of the dangers of COVID-19 and follow safety protocols for social distancing, mask wearing, and strict hygiene practices. It's the only way to protect our health and the health of others. Knowing more about the virus is also important to help us stay safe, so we give you that information in our next feature.
Coronaviruses are a large family of viruses found in both animals and humans. Some infect people and are known to cause illness ranging from the common cold to more severe diseases such as Middle East Respiratory Syndrome, MERS, and Severe Acute Respiratory Syndrome, SARS. Research reveals that SARS-CoV was transmitted from civet cats to humans in China in 2002 and MERS-CoV from dromedary camels to humans in Saudi Arabia in 2012. A novel coronavirus, novel meaning new strain of the coronavirus not previously identified in humans, was identified after an outbreak was reported in Wuhan, China in December 2019. It has subsequently spread to a number of other countries through human-to-human contact, and the World Health Organization has since officially named it COVID-19. The incubation period for viruses is the time between infection and the start of clinical symptoms of the disease. Based on information from other coronavirus diseases, such as MERS and SARS, the incubation period of the 2019 novel coronavirus, or COVID-19, is determined to be up to 14 days. As with other respiratory illnesses, this disease can cause mild symptoms, including a runny nose, sore throat, cough, and fever. For coronavirus generally, the person is most infectious when displaying symptoms. It is difficult to identify COVID-19 based on symptoms alone, as they are typically the same as infections of the flu or cold. A laboratory test is therefore needed to confirm if someone has the coronavirus. The infection can be more severe for some persons and can lead to pneumonia or breathing difficulties. More rarely, the disease can be fatal. Older persons and people with pre-existing medical conditions such as asthma, diabetes, and heart disease are deemed more vulnerable to becoming severely ill with the virus. The new coronavirus spreads primarily through contact with an infected person. It's spread through respiratory droplets generated when a person coughs or sneezes, or through droplets of saliva or discharge from the nose. To prevent spread, it's important that everyone practice good respiratory hygiene.
It's a similar respiratory precaution as we would take for influenza.
For example, sneeze or cough into a flexed elbow, or use a tissue and discard it immediately into a closed bin. Washing your hands frequently with soap and water or using an alcohol-based hand sanitizer eliminates the virus if it is on your hands.
Washing of hands is very, very important because any kind of droplets that get on your hand, you can transfer to your face, and you can therefore get it into your ear passages or into the eyes and cause an infection.
When someone who is infected with a respiratory disease like COVID-19 coughs or sneezes, that person projects small droplets containing the virus. If you are too close, you can breathe in the virus. Keeping this distance between yourself and other people, particularly those who are coughing, sneezing, and have a fever, helps to prevent those persons who don't have the virus from getting it.
If you are sick, to stay away from other persons, that means not going to work or school.
Someone who is coughing and sneezing should wear an approved mask where necessary. Data collected by the WHO so far suggests that the coronavirus may survive a few hours on surfaces, and applying disinfectants to surfaces can kill the virus, making it no longer possible to infect people in this way. To avoid getting infected, do not touch your eyes, nose, or mouth after touching any surface. The Ministry of Health and Wellness recommends that people who have flu-like symptoms such as a cough, fever, or difficulty breathing should visit the doctor immediately. Inform healthcare providers of any overseas travel in the 14 days before your symptoms developed, or if you've been in close contact with someone who has been sick with respiratory symptoms. Persons infected with the virus should receive appropriate care to relieve and treat symptoms, and those with severe illness should receive optimized supportive care. Remember, practice good respiratory and hand hygiene, and when necessary, see your doctor.
As we keep saying, wearing a mask is one of your best defenses against contracting the novel coronavirus. To ensure there is always a ready supply while keeping young people gainfully employed, the HOPE program has entered the business of producing masks. That story is next.
I graduated from Hope and Fashion Design Level 2. I'm currently studying Fashion Design in Level 3 at the moment. The course was about to finish March 31st, and it was put out because of the coronavirus. So now I'm here making masks. I'm here day on almost every single day trying to make a mask, at least 100 masks to supply. So each day I'm here working.
When COVID started and when the outbreak started in Jamaica, we realized that we had no choice but to shut down all training, and especially by what we did at Hope. So we had community-based training, we had institutional-based training like you see here at this Heart Academy. When we realized what was happening with COVID and the need for wearing masks by the general public, we decided to recall some of these youngsters who had then been at home for a few weeks, not earning a stipend, not doing anything. So we recalled them and we put systems in place here, very, very strict controls to maintain the sterile environment, the sanitizing processes, and at the same time to have them making these masks.
Making these masks, these Hope program masks, these can basically benefit Jamaica by preventing the spreading of coronavirus. And I live by the philosophy where there is hope, there is life.
The Heart Trust Garmex Academy on Marcus Garvey Drive has become a tenacious player in the island's fight against COVID-19. What started as an initiative to engage numerous unattached young people enrolled in the Housing, Opportunity, Production and Employment Hope program has begun to bring hope to countless Jamaicans. The team of approximately 25 Hope trainees, 10 instructors and numerous volunteers is tasked with the daily target of producing 1,000 reusable fabric masks that will be supplied to some of the less fortunate among us.
The masks are made and supplied. We try to get them to the most vulnerable groups. So we send them to infirmaries, to children's homes. We send them to other social workers groups that are out there working in the communities as we speak. We have provided these masks to the Ministry of Health, social teams that are deployed. But there is also a number of corporate entities who have come to us because they're on the front line. Food service, for instance. As you may be aware, Island Grill was one of our biggest supporters and encouraging us to do more and get more of these masks out, and they were the first ones to come on board.
Colonel Rickman, through his ingenuity, started the manufacture and design of the Hope mask, and we naturally turned to him because of the ongoing partnership that we had. And this is our way of saying thank you. So we have brought our team down to, go ahead and feed the interns and anybody else who might have been participants in producing these things for us.
I hope it's an example for others to follow suit. I invite other entities to come on board with us, donate some masks. There are entities now who are buying masks and allowing us simply to give it away.
Each mask is sold at a cost of $350 and are done to exact specifications.
We reach out to the Bureau of Standards as well as the Ministry of Health to look at various materials, various makeup and the design of the mask. And I'm happy to say that these masks that are made by Hope, they're made with material that are already water repellent or moisture repellent, but it's made with a level of comfort. It's in 3 layers so that it significantly reduces the possibility. So it's not a guarantee, but it significantly reduces the possibility of moisture and vapor to enter into the system. Or for those who may have the virus, if everybody is wearing it, it will protect them from passing it on as well. All of these masks are made in the Jamaican colors, as you can see. And they're made because we wanted to inspire a sense of, that we as Jamaicans, we're all in this thing together. The masks are made by these young persons who would otherwise have been doing nothing at home. So they're earning a bit of a stipend whilst they're making these masks. They're doing something good for the country. They're in their own way, they're contributing, they're giving their own service back by contributing, making masks, albeit for a small stipend.
Starting a program changed me. Right now, I want to become the best fashion designer if there's such thing. And I'm just here working to the best of my ability to gain more experience and strengthen my skills, and just let it take place from there.
The stipend is the starter for me. So the stipend basically started me. So now I own my own business, and the business name is For Your Glory Design. And now I can fetch for my family and myself.
I'm more confident in sewing than before because I can do a lot more than I could do before, like pattern making, jacket suits. I'm actually making masks in my community also. I'm selling them in my own community. Yeah. So fashion is a good thing for me, and O did a lot. Trust me, it did a lot for me.
The Christmas trend today has changed a lot from previous times. So previous times you had big markets, there was a lot of home cooking. There's not a lot of home cooking anymore. People buy a lot of things, you don't get that sort of home cooked thing anymore. The people where, I remember my mother used to buy sorrel, and she used to prepare the sorrel herself. Or you prepare the cake yourself rather than buying the cake now. When my mother used to prepare the cake and prepare everything at home. So that's some of the things that people need to do. They need to look at maybe doing that preparation at home.
Planning your Christmas meal menu but not too sure what to prepare? Well, why not try something other than the usual? Follow us now to the kitchen for an alternate meal idea.
Senor Thomas, what will you be preparing today?
Well, hi Kerry. Today I'll be preparing a traditional type vegan meal.
Okay.
Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is.
Right, so I'm going to start first by wilting our pak choy. I want to make sure that we have a large amount of boiling water because we're working with green vegetables. Right, and we want to ensure that we have a little bit of salt in that water, because that is important. We want to make sure that in all stage of preparation, the meal is seasoned properly. Right, so we add a little bit of salt to that. And we're just going to take our pak choy. We have removed the white section of it, right, to ensure that we can have it soft when we're ready to roll it up. Right, and then remove it from the water. We're just going to set this aside and we're going to go back to it when we're actually ready to do our presentation. Right. In the same liquid now is when we're going to start to prepare our cornmeal. So we're going to start by adding the following ingredients. Some scallion. Right. We won't be using any form of milk or coconut milk in this, so we want to ensure that we have a significant amount of flavor in there. Some garlic. Some onions. Right. And as typical Jamaican, we want to add a little bit of scotch bonnet pepper to it. We're also going to be adding some salt and pepper. And we're now going to be adding our cornmeal. Right, and we want to add this all at once. We don't want to add it a little at a time because we don't want it to lump up. It's important that you continue to stir it as you add the cornmeal to the water, because you don't want it to fall to the bottom of the pot and start to stick. We're going to leave this on a low flame and just allow it to cook through it. It will take probably about 5 to 7 minutes for it to cook properly. We're going to go ahead and start our ragu now. So we're going to be starting with some olive oil. Just a small amount. We want to ensure that whatever that you're preparing, it doesn't stick to the bottom of the pan. At the same time, we're also using a non-stick pan. So we're adding some garlic, some onions, and a little bit of hot pepper. Right. We're gonna then add some scallion. And then we're gonna start adding our beans. Everything has already been pre-cooked, so we're adding some black beans to this. Our gungo peas. Some green peas. Some red kidney beans. And some sweet corn, or whole kernel corn. So I want to ensure that we toss everything together so we kind of marry all the flavors that we already had in the pot, the onion, scallion, garlic and thyme, along with our peas and beans. As usual, we season with a little bit of salt and pepper. And just to kind of bring all the flavors together, I'm going to tip a little bit, about 1 ounce of water in the pot. And then we're going to be adding our tomato sauce to this. Some fresh thyme. Right, and we're going to be adding some thyme to our cornmeal as well. And a little bit of parsley. I'm just gonna wrap them now in our pak choy. And because we have the piece that has been removed here, we just want to bring it together. So we're gonna take some more beans. And so we're gonna make almost like a little log. We're just gonna roll it up. A little bit here. Right. And then starting from this end, we're just gonna put the pak choy over it, and just like a little cigar.
Where cool breezes blow, catch the festive spirit sweet, catch the rhythm and the beat, instead of catching a cold out in.
What I really like is the fact that you use local products.
Yes.
And seasonal food,
Definitely.
the gungo peas and so on.
Because it's traditional around about Christmas time, so you want to incorporate that as well.
Okay, thank you so much again.
Pleasure's
Bless you.
mine. Thanks for
I'm
having
going
me.
to now go and feast. Okay, is that allowed?
Yes, definitely.
All right, so I'll see you. I can't wait to taste the polenta. You know that's stunned cornmeal, right? I can't wait to taste it. And especially the ragu, the peas and the beans mixed in that rich tomato sauce. I think it's going to be delicious. Just by the looks of it, it's colorful. Woo! There it is. Thank you so much. Can you see it? Right, so I'm going to dig in. But before I do, listen, you go ahead. Try your hand at different things in the kitchen, right? Create different flavors and aromas and have yourself a wonderful, fabulous, but healthy Jamaican Christmas.
I order, under the Disaster Risk Management Act, you must wear a mask in all public access places and in public transportation. If you wear a mask and I wear a mask, we are all safer.
With that, we end today's journey on Jamaica Magazine. You've been great company, and be sure to join us again tomorrow for another show. Until then, continue to watch these and other programs by logging on to our website, jis.gov.jm, or subscribing to our YouTube channel. You may also find us on all the major social media platforms and through our mobile app that's Android and iOS compatible. On behalf of the entire production team, I'm Theodore Henry, wishing you a merry and safe Christmas.
This has been a production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.